Hello, A's fans. My name is Dylan Quinn with Athletics Avenue, and I'm joined alongside my co-host Jason Slusher and our guest host John Breslin. And today we have a very special guest, A's prospect and former second-round pick out of Rutgers, Ryan Lasko. How are you doing today, Ryan?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Good, good.
So, Ryan, you just recently got promoted to Lansing. Can you talk to me through what it was like finding out that you'd be moving up in the A's system?
Yeah, so it happened just before the All-Star break, and I actually had a flight home, and so I was preparing to go to New Jersey. And it was kind of like a panic mode for me because I had uh none of my stuff packed. So, and I was worried about missing my flight to go home. But it ended up working out. I flew home and I got my stuff shipped to Lansing. So it was a good surprise for me to give to my family when I got home. So it was a little stressful, but it all worked out, which was good.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So it looks like you were a pretty good player at Rutgers. You had a lot of awards and even tied doubles record.
Mhm.
Which award or moment are you most proud of in your collegiate career?
Um, man, uh, I don't know if there's individual statistic that I kind of look at that I'm proud of. I'm more so proud of where I started to where I ended up. Because I came into college during the 2021 COVID year. So I only played conference schedule. So it was kind of hard to get acclimated to being a college player. So I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to mature, kind of had to mature quickly as a player. Um, does that mean that I did everything right? No. But I'm still glad the way my college career kind of shaped out because I think kind of the stuff that was thrown my way, it kind of helped me grow into as a player. So that's what I look at more so than, statistics and stuff like that. It's kind of how much I developed in a 3 year span.
That's awesome.
So, Ron, when you were coming out of high school, what college offers did you have, and what made you choose Rutgers over the rest?
I chose Rutgers because that was my only college offer.
Oh, wow.
Uh, yeah, so I also want to stay home. I committed pretty early because I always wanted to go to Rutgers. Um, and I was recruited by the old coaching staff, and then I had to get re-recruited when the new coaching staff came in. So I remember being, I don't know, it was my junior year summer when that all happened. So that was a little, it was an interesting little process that I had to deal with. But yeah, Rutgers was my only college offer, and I'm kind of proud of that. So that puts a little chip on my shoulder as well. And I just wanted to stay home. I didn't feel like traveling down south. I wanted to be close to home, so it ended up working out well. Um, because I mean, being from New Jersey, and to now, I had to go across the country. And I don't think I could have did that as a 18-year-old.
So, yeah, you were just recently drafted last year in the second round. What was the process of being drafted like, and what was it like to hear your name called on draft night?
It was the most stressful day I think of my life, and I think I did that to myself. I just remember pacing back and forth around my house. I didn't have a big party or anything. I just had my family and close friends. Um, but I only heard, so I never talked to the A's before draft day. And then I got a call around, I don't know, pick 16 or 17, saying that they wanted to take me at this spot uh, at pick 41. And I didn't hear anything until the pick. So when my name popped up on the screen, I was kind of as surprised as anyone else in the room.
Mhm.
But once my name got called, it was as much as like you dream of being drafted and getting the opportunity to play professional baseball. It's a very uneasy feeling day, and I know a lot of people feel the same way because I have a bunch of friends and teammates that have gone through it. Um, but it did work out the way I wanted to, and I think I'm in the perfect place, so I'm happy where I landed.
That's
Just going
awesome.
off of that real quick, was the A's the only team that had contacted you, or was there any other teams that had an interest?
On draft day, it was only the A's, but I had a handful of other teams, prior to the draft, that I talked with. But other than on draft day, it was only the A's that I talked to.
So, what does a day in the life of a minor league or baseball player like you look like?
So depending on home or road, um, it's I feel like the mornings are kind of slow, um, but it also gives me a lot of time to recover because it's the most games I've ever played. I think I played my 100th game yesterday, so it's good because I get to rest my body early in the day, and then we get around 2, 3 o'clock. It's head over to the stadium, and by that time, it's a bunch of either recovery stuff, maintenance, and then it's pre-practice stuff, and then BP, and then when you're on the road, it's BP, and then 40 minutes later, it's game time. So it starts off slow, and then it kind of speeds up as the day goes on. When you're at home, it's a little different. You have more time in between each thing, but I think I have adjusted pretty well to kind of the scheduling of it all. 'Cause it's not as like college where you travel on a Thursday, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're done. It's kind of repeating that same process, every single day, which it took me a little while to get used to. But once you get a routine and kind of get in the flow of things, it becomes much easier to kind of get acclimated to your environment.
So when you get to travel to these different cities, do you have time to be able to sightsee anything or visit attractions and landmarks?
Yeah, so I personally do a lot of walking around depending where we are, because I think it's good. I don't like to be cooped up in a hotel room for too long. It's good to kind of walk around and see because I've only been to Michigan twice, I think. So it's good to see different stuff that I don't know I've never seen before. Like for example, in Lansing, I've never been, so I get to see Michigan State for the first time because I never traveled there when I was in the Big Ten. So yeah, there's definitely a sightseeing aspect to it, and it's kind of good to get away from the game sometimes and kind of just I don't want to say live a normal life, but kind of just walk around and kind of process everything, and instead of being baseball 24/7.
Do you have a favorite spot you've seen so far?
Um, I don't think I've been here long enough to say that I have a favorite spot, but I enjoy Lansing a lot because there's a lot around our stadium and stuff like that. And I really enjoy being back on East Coast time because it makes it easier for my family to watch games and it makes it easier for before and after to talk to them and stuff like that. So I'm still getting used to the area. So I wouldn't say I have a favorite spot yet, but I do enjoy the area of Lansing that I'm in.
Great. So I just have like a question about like what is your favorite moment in your overall career? So it could be like professional ball, college ball, high school ball even. Like what's your favorite moment would you say like going back or even professional ball?
Um, Favorite moment. Yeah, I feel like that should be an easy question, but for some reason it's not for me.
Yeah.
Um, I think favorite moments that I've had are with the people that I've met,
Yeah.
because I've met a lot of good players and coaches, and I've formed a lot of good relationships. So I take that with a lot of pride. I've met some lifelong friends that I'll probably be with for the rest of my life. So I think it's more off the field stuff than what happens on the field because, um, we spend so much time together, and I think it makes it a lot easier when you have a good group around you.
Mhm.
Because if you're struggling and you're all by yourself, it makes it that much harder. So
Mhm.
I think it's the relationships that I've kind of formed over, my college years and now being professional baseball.
That's awesome.
So, have there been any guys at the major league level that have offered you advice? And if so, what kind of advice have they given you?
So I'm pretty close with Todd Frazier, because he went to Rutgers. So I've talked to him a bunch over the years. And, when I was going through the draft process, he was by my side. So I've leaned on him a little bit over the years. I've leaned over on his brother, Jeff Frazier. So I'm pretty close with that family because, they're close to where I live in New Jersey. And they both went to Rutgers. So I see them, in the off season or if I'm at a fall game, um, I get to talk to them with a bunch. But I've kept pretty close contact with them over the years, and they've been a pretty helping hand to me. So I'm thankful for that. Um, And as I've gotten into this, I've met a lot of people. Like I've gotten to meet Ricky Henderson,
Oh,
which
wow.
I was pretty starstruck. I didn't know how to introduce myself for the first time. So that was like the kind of the first time I felt starstruck from a professional baseball, well, Hall of Famer, I should say. So baseball has given me a unique opportunity to meet a lot of people, whether they're big names or people I'm meeting for the first time. Um, so it's kind of like I get to live out my childhood dream of this, every single day with the people that I meet and the coaches that I meet, players that I meet. So it's kind of been an unreal experience, when you look back on it. In the moment, um, I don't think you don't realize what's happening, but then like for me, I put myself in my 8-year-old shoes and it's kind of like I'm all giddy and it's like being a little kid again. So it's been a really cool experience over this first, year and a half.
That's
So if,
amazing.
if you weren't a
I know when
professional,
I was young, I watched Todd Frazier a lot. He was a great player.
Yeah. Yeah.
so if you weren't a professional baseball player, what kind of job would you have?
I've been asked this a couple times and my honest answer is I have no idea. I really don't know what I'd be doing. I couldn't imagine myself without baseball because I think I was, born to do this and play this game at a high level. And I think it's a good thing not being able to, I got, pretty blessed to say that I get to do something that I love every day. Um, but I honestly, there was never a plan B for me, so I kind of sold out for baseball. Um, but yeah, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else.
Growing up, what was your favorite MLB team and player?
I was a big Yankee fan growing up. I remember I fell in love with the game when I want to say, 7 or 8, when the Yankees went on their World Series run in 2009. And my favorite player growing up was Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, Brett Gardner. So I remember I probably watched as a kid 140 plus Yankee games a year. I would just sit every day and just watch, and I kind of fell in love with the game, and I fell in love with players that they kind of shaped the way I play, and I feel like they played it the right way. So that's kind of like what I wanted to do when I grew up. So now I get to live that experience every day, which is it's kind of a wholesome moment, and I'm glad I get to do it. Um, and in being in New Jersey and close to New York and Philly, I got to go to a lot of Yankee games over the years. So I've been lucky enough to follow one of the most historic franchises in baseball history. So I mean, that's where the love of the game came from. And emulating those guys, growing up and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I was a diehard Yankee fan growing up.
It's awesome.
So, what is your walk-up song? Because you just said you reached your 100 game in the minors. Have you changed it at all, or has it been the same one since you started, or what's going on there?
So I've messed around with a bunch of stuff. And then I kind of fell in love with Cody Johnson's "Till You Can't" as a walk-up song because I feel like it kind of emulates me as a person, and the lyrics resonate with me as a baseball player. So that's what I've been rocking with. I'll probably stick with them for probably the rest of the season and maybe even next year. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet, but that's what I've been with for I would say you know majority of the season.
So have you been watching the Olympics at all? And if so, who's your favorite Olympic athlete?
So it's been kind of tough to keep up with it. The only time I've really sat down to watch it is when I'm in the clubhouse, whether it's a basketball playing. Um, Favorite Olympic athlete? I don't know if I have a favorite. I think I just like watching USA play. Um, I would say I wish baseball was in the Olympics, but it's, tough with baseball season being right during the Olympics. But, with the WBC, I watch a lot, so that kind of fills in with the Olympics. But I wouldn't say I have a favorite athlete. I just enjoy kind of watching Team USA, and whether it's track and field or basketball, or it's like the swimming sports with like water polo. It's just interesting to see kind of what different athletes can do at a high level rather than just watching baseball all the time.
Yeah. So Bill and I are also from New Jersey, same area as you. So I have to ask, what is your favorite pizza spot, and what kind of pizza do you get the most?
So my favorite pizza spot is probably 2 minutes from my house. It's called Enzo's Pizza in Jackson. Um, and I've always stuck with a traditional plain pizza. And I kind of get, I don't say chirped for that, but um, I've been a picky eater, so I kind of stay true to what I like. But yeah, I kind of grew up with that right down the road for me, so I've fell in love with that place, and ever since, I don't think any other place competes with it.
Yeah, I mean, convenient.
Yeah.
Me and John, we're gonna have to drop by there and try that sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
So is there anything else you want to share with us today, Ryan?
Um, I mean, I would say overall, my experience as a professional player has been really well.
Mhm.
It's not easy by any means. I found that out pretty quick. This game will humble you in a heartbeat, and I think that's what keeps, you got to be a little insane to play this game. You got to be not all there in your mind, because to do this every single day and kind of knowing that you're not knowing, but at the same time you're gonna fail more times than not, and being able to do that as a profession, knowing that you're not going to succeed more than 30% of the time, is kind of hard for some people to fathom. But we do it as a profession and we love it, and it's what keeps us coming back every day. So I still think it's the hardest game in the world, um, and it takes kind of a messed up person in the head to kind of play this game. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. um, it's been more than anything I could ask for. It's been everything I was expected and more. And I've just really enjoyed the ride, and I'm very excited to see where, the end of this season takes me, and yeah, how it leads up to the years coming.
That's awesome. Well, that's all we have today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, Ryan. And we'll be following you for sure. Wishing you the best of luck with your career.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Best of luck to you guys, and thanks for having me on.
No
Thank you.
problem. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been Athletics Avenue, and we'll see you next time, Ace
See you.
fans.